Hello and welcome to our final, I can't believe it, final edition of our Euro 2024 coverage here on the panel at Gambling.com. I'm Alan McInally, have been your host throughout this Euro 2024 on the panel, and we're down to just two teams in Germany. Just look at the smile on the big man's face. I bet you can't believe. I mean, you can't believe it, big man. Really?
I'm still here. I don't know how.
Still here. To be fair, you did say you would speak to me today because you were pretty confident that England would beat Holland.
Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't say I was confident, but I just saw the way this tournament is going. And
listen to him, Emmanuel. Listen to him. Now, I wouldn't say I was confident.
I wasn't confident because you saw the performances, Ali. Manu, you saw we wasn't at our best. It's only just now starting to click. Things are starting to go our way a little bit. In the match, we're quite fortunate to get that penalty, I think. But at the same time, we got to take what we're given.
Fortunate. We'll get into that. Just stay where you are. And obviously, we have another special guest joining us. You can see him already. In his country, of course, we're successful. Well, we've got someone that's actually won it. In the year 2000, we're Euro champions. And of course, he wasn't just happy with that. He had to go and win the World Cup as well. Emmanuel Petit. Emmanuel, bonjour.
Good morning. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? How are you guys?
So what? Oh, good. But we'll get to your friend's side as well. But just a little bit on England, just a briefie last night. Do you think they deserve to win? In fact, we'll get to the penalty. We may as well start in that, actually. Never a pen.
Yeah, but I think yesterday that was their best performance so far in this tournament. I think they play very well. Some individuals, impressed me a lot, like Menu, for example, or Foden. But I think the tactic had changed from Southgate. And that was much better, You could see the links between the midfield and the players, and you could see the movements all together as well. So, no, that was the best performance so far for them. And I think they deserve to win yesterday. And to answer the Carlton, I think it was a right decision to give a penalty.
Well, wait there. Hang on a minute. I'm not having that, by the way. No chance. And by the way, of course, we couldn't be here without our sponsors. We have to mention them here on the panel at Gambling.com. Brought to you by Winsane.com and Betovo.com, our odds and betting panels for the Euros. All the details you need to get involved with them throughout the tournament are on screen. Check them out for the latest match odds and specials throughout this summer. And of course, throughout the final, which will be on Sunday in Berlin between Spain and England. Did you say it was a penalty?
Yes.
So I always say this to you. On Petit pastis this morning. In other words, what I'm saying, everybody, is I think he's had a little tipple. I'm sorry. It's not a pet. By the way, if you and I were playing together and Carlton had the volley and you had put your foot up to try and block it and Carlton kicked your foot, you would be like...
It's a late challenge. If you do that on the pitch outside, the penalty area, the referee will give you a free kick. So that means it's a foul. It's a late challenge from Dumfries. So for me, he could have been injured as well on this action. So for me, definitely it's a pen.
By the way, Carlton, a Frenchman on England's side.
Mate, I'm bewildered right now. I don't understand what's going on. But I've got to say, I have to agree with you. I thought it was soft as a penalty, but it still is a foul.
Yeah.
And that's why I said we was a little bit fortunate, because on other days, probably the referee doesn't go to the VAR and it just goes on. Because he didn't give it initially. He went to the VAR, and you know what happened?
Yeah.
When the referees go to the VAR, they always change their mind. So I already knew it was going to be a penalty straight after that.
Yeah, I think everybody did, buddy. So Gareth Southgate makes the call, brings Ollie Watkins on, which I've said to you before. I think he's more of a goal threat than Ivan Toney. And it's all down to Gareth then, isn't it? By the way, what a finish.
Yeah, what a finish. Listen, Gareth has made some decisions that has kind of confused the England team and the England fans, but everything that he done yesterday and the timing of Ollie Watkins coming on was perfect for Ollie just to make an impact. Cole Palmer was the one that actually came on as well and put Ollie Watkins in. So it was a perfect combination of what you're supposed to do as a manager, thinking on the front foot and getting the job done. And he done exactly what it said on the tin, Ollie Watkins. You know he's good. Give him a yard of space. He shot between the defender's legs, and it was some strike, wasn't it?
Well, you and I know, well, so does Emmanuel, to be fair, the amount of goals he scored too. But when Ollie gets in that position, it doesn't take too many touches. He wants to get the shot in early, and the earlier you do, the less time the defender's got to shut you down. I thought it was a super goal. I mean, having said that, I've just spoken about Southgate there, Manny. You said, I don't know, were you quite critical of Southgate? I can't remember what you said. I think you said it might be time for him to go. Do you change your mind on that one then?
Yeah, he was, he was looking for the best, balance, for the team, the best position, especially midfield. It was a big argument from the start. But I think Manu was the solution, and I did very well. But again, if we talk about Southgate, he received a lot of criticism, and one of them as well. And to be fair, what he did yesterday was great tactically, but as well in terms of substitutions, because it happens the last 15 minutes of the games. So he didn't want to go to the extra times. He wanted to win that game straight away. So that was a difference with the other manager, And for me, this is the reflection, the inspiration that a manager should get, with his players, It's a signal to the players. The last 15 minutes of the games, I'm going to bring offensive players because I want to win that game. And they changed the game.
Yeah, I did. And by the way, 46 minutes, shot for Trippier, Carlton. I'm nodding my head as it's happening, thinking, I know he loves Trippier, and Trippier does a great job. But the balance of the team changed for me with England having a fullback, left-sided fullback, and everything just seemed to click better like that. And as it changes the game, or the players as they get into the game with Palmer, etc., I still think with Shaw fullback. And by the way, let's get into this right now. There is no chance he plays Trippier at fullback when he's got Shaw now, having played the amount of time he played. Surely he starts in the final.
Well, that was the big suggestion. I thought he was going to start in this game, but the problem that we don't know as fans, as pundits, we don't know how fit he actually was. I would have said, and this would have been my protocol. I would have said, Luke, you're going to start. I know, and then I'll sat Trippier down. Say, Luke, you're gonna finish and close off the game for me. But Luke, you're going to start. You give me as long as you can at your full pace, and we see how it goes. But he knows the camp better than me. So he knows, okay, Luke will probably come on and change the game, which he did against Switzerland. He came on, he changed the whole face of the game, and that's why we end up going on to win it. So he's done the same thing this time, and it's worked a treat. But one thing he did change is obviously the Ollie Watkins. He didn't bring... Everyone was calling out for Ivan Toney, because Ivan Toney is in the heat at the moment. At the moment, is the flavour of the month to replace Kane. But Ollie Watkins is a different dynamic to what all the rest of the strikers bring. So when I was looking at it, I was confused at the time. But then, how can I doubt the manager that sees that team every day in training?
Absolutely. Should Bellingham have been sent off?
No, of course not. What are you talking about? I don't even remember seeing that. I don't know what you're talking about, Ali. When is that supposed to happen? I
don't know. As a Scotsman, I'm just trying to get England.
I don't know what kind of angle you're coming in from here, Ali. Don't try to listen. What's happened has happened. We are where we are right now. We've not been at our best, but this shows you how the unity and the togetherness of that team has got us this far. And now we are improving with our match play.
Let's get us a bit of a backstroke here, Manu, and go to the France-Spain game. Little disappointing. I mean, considering Moani scores after 7-8 minutes.
Yep.
Disappointing, eh?
Very disappointing. I think we started very well that game for the first 20 minutes. I think we were very good on the pitch, the organization, and obviously we scored the first goal, and that was the first time for Spain, in this competition. But we stopped playing after that. We draw back, and we let the Spanish players to come easily, in the penalty area. And against those kind of players with their possession of the ball, you know straight that you're gonna suffer about that. And we conceded occasion, and they score a beautiful first goal with Yamal, but very disappointing that we stopped playing and we didn't get any answers on the pitch, against Spain. So it was very frustrated. I think a lot of players has failed. They have failed, to reach their momentum in that game, and starting with Kylian Mbappe. So there is a lot criticism, since that here in France, everywhere in the press, asking, Didier Deschamps to leave the team.
He won't leave. He won't leave, Emmanuel.
No, he won't leave. He won't leave. He signed a new contract last season.
Yeah, exactly.
His target is to go to the next World Cup. And the French president of the French Federation, the president, he said yesterday, straight after, he didn't wait because he knew straight away he's going to receive a lot of critics. So the president said that he's going to stay until the end of his contract. So Zinedine Zidane again has to wait in the shadow.
Hey, listen, I saw a stat, and I don't believe that. I'll ask both of you then. Carlton, I'll go to you first. Just give me one name. Do you know who's had the most shots at Euro 2024?
Yamal, no?
Nope.
Nico Williams?
Mbappe.
Really?
The most shots, not necessarily on target. It's a bit like that Morecambe Wise one where we saying, I'm playing all the wrong notes, just not necessarily the right notes, not necessarily in the right order. So his radar is properly not working, Manny. The broken nose was a problem, actually. But he didn't hit the target often enough.
Come on. We're going to have to stop with the broken noise, okay? Because, come on, guys, come on.
We have to have some sympathy.
I'm so sick of hearing that.
Some sympathy for him.
I'm tired of it. Carlton's broken noise. How many players have played with a broken noise?
I've never, so I can't. So have you? I've never.
You've never had a broken nose?
I had 5 times my nose broken, and here the jaw broken, and there as well. So how many times I have no idea. So.
Yeah. And Carlton, he's talking about a Friday night in Paris. He's not even talking about.
You're telling me that Kylian Mbappe is the one that has shot the most during the tournament. But how many birds has he killed?
There's a sniper. He's the sniper on the pitch.
Do you remember this occasion in the second half against Spain? When Barcola, he dribbled 3 players in the middle of the park. And then Kylian Mbappe did on the right.
Yeah. And they went over there.
Was there, like this. And
I know, this is when I saw that, I said, this is not the Mbappe I know. He must have other things on his mind, because I think that, you know what it is? Not everyone can take trauma like the rest of us. Well, you guys. And I think that messed him up a little bit there, Emmanuel, because he was scared. Then the mask, then he was trying to find a way. He was using the mask as an excuse. The mask comes off, and he's still shooting like this. So there's no more excuses. There's nowhere to hide. You just had a poor tournament.
I totally agree, Carlton. After the game, he was straight and honest. He said that he did a very poor competition. He was honest, but during the competition, he was always trying to find excuses. And he said, for me, bad comments as a captain about his teammates. He was saying that we were complaining about the fact that he changed his game. He's not taking the space. He's not playing with his speed. He's always asking to receive the ball in his speed. He doesn't make any movement at all. And he said in a press conference that's because he doesn't get the same players in midfield that Pogba. Pogba was able to give him balls behind the defense. So this is bad comments as a captain for your teammates. Said something as well bad against Griezmann. So, during the whole season, with Paris Saint-Germain, it was a war in the press. It was every single day. So you arrive at the competition like this with your head heavy. Okay, you signed for Madrid, you're free in your mind. But on top of it, you didn't train perfectly for the last 6 months. So he's got a huge responsibility about the failure of the national team. Yeah.
Manny, can I ask you about Xavi Simons? Because he's obviously at PSG. I know he plays for Holland.
Yes.
He scored a wonderful goal last night. They look as if they've got a really good young player there as well, PSG. It should be an exciting season next season.
I think they still want him to grow.
Well, he's been on loan, hasn't he? How do you say that?
In Germany, with Leipzig, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I think he will stay in Germany, you know, to grow up, you know, to go step by step. But sooner or later, maybe he's gonna come back to Paris Saint-Germain. But it was big speculation around him, you know, during the tournament, because a lot of people were saying that he was not good enough, you know, to be in the first 11. But he needs to improve, you know. We see his quality; he's got huge quality, but he needs regularity, you know, in his performances.
Yeah. One more about the Spain game, and I know it's a tough one for you because obviously you were expecting maybe to get to the final. A mistake to not start Griezmann. I know he came on, but
did you see did you hear what Griezmann said yesterday?
No, I never.
He said in a press conference, he said yes, he was honest as well, just like Kylian Mbappe. He said that he was not good enough, you know. He was not doing his part, you know, on the pitch, but as well as a leader, one of the leader of the team, and he was very frustrated about that. But he said one thing. He said he was quite tired about Didier Deschamps' management, because he played in the midfield, he played on the right, he played strikers, he changed so many times his position, and at the end he put him on the bench. And Griezmann said it's funny because from the start of the competition until now, I didn't feel well at the beginning, but step by step, I started to get back, you know, at my best level. And all of a sudden, I'm on the bench, and I changed so many times position. So that was, for me, a kick to the manager, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just wasn't a good, genuinely just wasn't a good competition for France this year. Carlton, speak to me about Yamal, or Lamine Yamal. Speak to me. 60, I mean, seriously, I know, well, is he 17 on Sunday, Saturday?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Well, tell me what you were doing at 16. What were you doing at 16?
I tell you, Ali, I might have to kill you, mate. I'm not allowed to. But what I've got to say, what a player he is. I had a friend that had seen this boy playing for Barcelona a long time ago. And well, I'll say a long time ago. It couldn't have been a long time ago, but he was in the youth over there, and he says there's this kid that's coming through the ranks, and just watch, and you need to remember his name. And I was like, who's this boy? Who's this boy? I saw a long, like, stringy beanpole, and I was thinking, this boy he's not gonna have any ability to play with the men's. No, I'm not having it, man. This boy has something else that God's only can give him. I looked at him and I thought, okay, and remember, I don't know who it was. I think it was Rabiot that criticized him. Says you're gonna have to lift your game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
to get to the finals. Yeah. He gave it all the yapping, and you know what happened? He lifted his game. He put it. He could have scored 2 goals, great goals. Put it in the top corner. Then on top of that, and you know what? Maignan is not a person you can beat like that. It had to be perfect. And he just done what he had to do. And he almost could have done it again. But the thing about this boy, it's the maturity for me. Like, he just knows, he gets it. He's not cocky. And I hope they protect him as much as possible, because you can play too much games when you're young, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully they protect this young talent.
Manny, apparently,
sorry guys, I have something to say about Yamal. Did you know that Navas, his teammate, is older than his dad?
That's crazy.
Really? No, that's the reality.
Navas is 28, 29, and there's some bad. That's brilliant. Brilliant. I was going to say, Manny, apparently, I heard the story that, was it Xavi was the manager? Not Xavi was the manager, and he wanted to play him when he was 15, but Barcelona wouldn't let him because they couldn't actually sign him, and were scared that everybody would see him and he'd be poached by someone else. He really has. He's been so good, Emmanuel, hasn't he?
They keep him in the shadow, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure he wanted to play him.
It's funny we're talking about him, because yesterday at work I was with former players, and we were talking about him, and we were asking what is the fee, you know, if, for example, a big club wants to buy him. It's 1 billion.
Yeah.
1 billion.
No.
You know what it is, you know, in Spain, you know, they put huge transfer, you know, fee, you know, in case, you know, just to guarantee that they're going to stay at the club.
Wow.
1 billion.
Amazing.
If I was, hang on a minute, if I was to buy Emmanuel Petit when he was 20 now, how much is Emmanuel Petit?
Tomatoes and pineapple, and that's it.
Oh way, Manu
Well,
Petit, at 20 years old. Wow,
I was thinking
500 million.
2 million for Carlton, for God's sake.
Oh no,
Right, listen.
I wish.
We've had the group stages, we've had the 16, we've had the quarters, we've had the semis, we're in the final, Spain against England. Who will win the final? Manuel.
I think it's going to be Spain.
Yep.
I think
Carlton, give me the reason England's going to win it then.
We've got this far without even playing well. That just shows you. And do you know what? Do you know what it is? I just feel it's made for us this time. I said it before the game. I said we'll win it. I said France are going to disappoint us. I said everything I've said come to this point has happened. So I've got to keep on the train. I'm sorry. England are going to win it. Spain are going to be unlucky, but it's just written in the stars for England. We were so close the last one. So this one, we can't make the same mistake.
Emmanuel, who's the better manager? De La Fuente or Southgate?
To be honest with you, with all the critics received from for Southgate, he did very well yesterday. He impressed me yesterday. The tactic and the substitution at the right time. I think the energy, he was showing to these players. So I think, De La Fuente, I have a huge respect, but I don't know him. And I see Spain playing the same way. It's the DNA, it's cultural, over there. So I will say Southgate.
Well, I'll add to that, Manuel, and tell me, how does Spain hurt England? Because so far England seem to have got it right. He seems to have fallen into a system now in the last two games with three in the wing backs, or it's not actually it's four. It's 3-4.
You definitely have to play with 4 defenders against Spain because of the wingers. You cannot play with these 3 defenders. It's impossible. They stick on the lines, so it's wide open for the defenders. So you cannot play with 3 defenders. So the tactics against yesterday during that game, I think that won't happen. Again against Spain. So he's going to have to change the tactics of the team.
You think that Carlton as well because of Nico Williams and Yamal?
You've got Lamar, and then if you've got Nico Williams on the other side, you need the cover because otherwise it's going to... And listen, we're not going to have possession of that ball. You got to understand that. So they're going to control the possession, and then they've got the out ball going past that. So we can't play with 3 at the back. It's impossible. So we're going to have to go with a balanced team, a right back and a left back, secure. And then hopefully we'll play Mainu again with Rice. Then we'll have Foden hopefully in a box. I would play a box 4. I would play a box 4 in midfield, and then I would make sure that we can go forward efficiently and go and help Harry Kane up front. And then later on, and this shows you, this tournament, I think shows you how important the squad is. Now, with England, we've utilised, I think most people come on at some point in the squad. Not everybody, but the ones that are important going forward, I think they've been used at some point. So it shows you when Ollie Watkins came on, he hadn't played that much football yet. He's come on, done what he had to do. So the squad are very much important in the starting 11 as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get to who we think is going to win. I'll get to the prices that we get here on Gambling.com, thanks to, of course, Winsane and Bitovo. I was going to ask you, Emmanuel, I heard another unbelievable stat. When Spain were defeated by Scotland over a year ago, there is one player still in the squad from the team that were beaten in the group stages by Scotland. That was Jesus Navas. The whole squad is completely changed. The Spanish squad is completely changed.
It's interesting what you're saying because traditionally, Spain will always be, the spine from Barcelona or Real Madrid. Yeah. And you can see that we lost against a very beautiful team. But when you look at the individuals, it's Real Sociedad, it's other clubs than Barcelona or Real Madrid. They are not there anymore, most of them. So, yes, it's something new. But as I said, it's a tradition, it's historic, the way Spain plays, it's always the same. It's the position of the ball, that.
Okay, Carlton, give me your best bet for the final. Not necessarily yet who will win it. Give me a bet that we could have in the final that you think would happen. I'm giving you a free 50 quid here.
I think, listen, for me, I think it's going to be a very, very tight game. I think it's going to be all about tactics, positioning. So with that being said, and it's going to be a hard game for England to win. And I'll look at it as it's going to go through a draw, full time, extra time, then penalties.
Ooh.
England to win on penalties.
And just before I get to Emmanuel, then I take it England have now got 5 penalty takers, and if that gets to the point, if we get to 5 minutes before the end of extra time, Southgate gets Tony on. Oh no, he won't have Kane on then, will he? I think he'll have. Who was the last 5? Oh no, Kane did take a penalty, didn't he? It was Tony, Kane, Foden, Rice,
Arnold, no?
Oh,
sorry, yeah. So they've got 5 or 6.
It was Cole Palmer. It was Saka. It was
Bellingham
and Ivan Toney, and there was one more. Somebody.
Rice. No, not Rice.
Trent scored the winner.
Trent. Yeah, Emmanuel just said Trent. So they've got their penalty takers pretty much. So, Emmanuel, what happens in the final then? Tell me.
Well, see Spain win that games 2-1 before the end of before extra time. So the full time, I see 2-1.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, we're here on the panel. We've obviously been Gambling.com. We've been supported brilliantly by our sponsors with Winsane.com and Bitovo.com. They've given the odds 74 Spain, 13-5 England. So Spain are favourites, 15 take the draw. Outright winner would be 8-11 odds on Spain to win, and England 5-4. Top goal scorer, Kane favourite 94. Danny almost had a good tournament at 11-4. Player of the tournament, if Spain win it, it's got to be Rodrigo Hernandez Casante. What do you think? In other words, known as Roger to everybody from Manchester City. Emmanuel, do you agree with that?
I agree, but Lamine Yamal, he has impressed me a lot during this tournament. Yeah.
So if England win at Carlton, and you obviously hope they will, who's the player of the tournament then? Because if England win it, the likelihood of an England player being the player of the tournament's got to be the case, isn't it?
Well, of course, but I don't know because we haven't really played well. But I would, do you know who I would give it to? I'll give it to Mark Gahey. He has been outstanding. I said that he looked like a young Ledley King. He's been really. He was when everybody was saying our defense was going to be a problem. He stepped in for Harry Maguire, and he's gone to another level now. So I'm sure that we've got a great player on our hands for the future too.
Yeah, I don't know whether, Emmanuel, did you see Mark Gahey talking to the press afterwards? He said, fantastic, really good. We haven't won anything yet.
Correct. As I said,
I thought that was, as a professional football player.
He's a Chelsea product, man. You know the levels. You know the levels.
Yeah,
I am the example. I am the example of it. You always start, the show saying that I'm the World Cup winner, European tournament winner. So that means if I reach the final without winning the tournament, would you say that at the beginning of the show? So
yeah, exactly. I just thought, Emmanuel, you've been in a position where you've got to a final for the Euros and the World Cup. In your head, are you like, you're right, we really need to? I just thought he was thinking out the box a little bit by saying jobs.
I tell you something. Against Brazil during the final in the World Cup 1998. At the halftime, we were leading the score 2-0. We came back in the dressing room. We were so excited. There was a lot of noises, in the dressing room. And all of a sudden, our manager, Emmanuel, came into the dressing room and he shouts at everybody. He was saying, shut up, just relax, just recover, drink water, don't talk. We are just leading the score 2-0, but we haven't done anything yet. There's still 45 minutes, and maybe extra time. So concentrate on the second half. At the moment, we have won nothing.
Exactly, yeah. Guys, it's been absolutely brilliant. I'll remind you again here on the panel, our coverage of 2024 Euros. It's just been brilliant. Thanks to Carlton, thanks to Robert Huth, who unfortunately, as the host, the big man. He was so angry he wouldn't come on today. And obviously to Monsieur
He's got
Petit.
nothing to talk about.
He wanted to kick someone.
Yeah, he still thinks he thinks Tony Cruz still shouldn't retire. Listen, guys, and obviously to our sponsors, to winsane.com and betomo.com here on Gambling.com, we thank them for all our specials on screen. I'll remind you, 7-4 Spain, 13-5 England. It's the final of the Euros, and by the way, it's been absolutely brilliant. So listen, stay tuned to Gambling.com on the panel. Of course, you can get as much as you want from Winsane and Betobo. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Good luck, Carlton. I have to say good luck to England.
Yeah,
and I did say, I know, I'm very fortunate. I have known Gareth Southgate for a long time, and I'm always hoping that England win it now, just so Gareth can go, I told you so. Give us another contract. Boys, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the final. And whatever you do at Gambling.com, enjoy yourself.
You take
See
care.
you next time.